Hi, hello. I'm going to make this skirt. It is a beautiful day in New York today. It is almost 80 degrees. Happy end of April, spring. Spring is here. I love a flowery, beautiful, colorful, rich skirt to throw on in the spring and the summer. It gets really hot in New York, so preferable to pants. So that's what I'm doing. I found this fabric, these cherry blossoms at Mood Fabrics online, and I just love it. It's a cotton rayon, sort of mid-weight. It is lined, so it may not work for me for summer, but I think it will. And I have found more and more that I'm really craving clothes with more structure and definition. So many clothes, ready to wear stuff you can buy is just so thin and disposable. And so when I sew, I'm really interested in trying to sew things that have some, character and will last a long time. So that's the plan. Hi, my name is Linda. I'm an actor and writer living in New York City, and I love sewing my own clothes. And I'm obsessed with fashion. I think about it a lot. I look at magazines. I still look at magazines. I still get Vogue in print. I absolutely love going through Vogue. So I make videos on this channel of clothes that I make, and also some videos about what I'm thinking about getting dressed every day and how I'm thinking about my wardrobe and how to be sustainable and thoughtful about what I purchase and what I make and sort of create a wardrobe that I absolutely love and I want to put everything on. That's my goal. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. Okay, sewing is finally happening. The first step is to finish all the raw edges on the skirt pieces. I do not own a serger, so I use an overlock stitch on my machine, which works really well. The next step is to sew the darts. There are 2 darts on both of the back pieces. So 2 rows of basting stitches on the top of the front piece. It's going to be gathered just slightly. Then sew the side seams, both back pieces to the front. I left the long threads of the gathering stitches free so I can adjust that gathering. Okay, now we're going to start working on the pockets. Fold and press the top seam allowance edge over at 1 centimeter, then fold the top back toward the right side, so right sides are together at the fold line on the pattern. Stitch it just on the sides about 1/2 centimeter, clip the corners, clip the seam allowances, and turn it right side out. Then stitch along that edge that you have turned over. At the pocket corner, stitch the right sides together. This is going to give these pockets this nice extra volume, as you can see here. Then lay the pockets on the front of the skirt, place them carefully, and stitch them down. Now I'm starting on the pocket flap, stitch the right sides together. These pockets have various options. There are these straps that you can attach. I decided not to do that, but the pattern has some cool options. Clip the seam allowances and the corners, turn the flaps right side out and press them really well. Then attach them to the front of the skirt above the pocket as indicated on the pattern facing upwards. Fold the flaps over and sew them again along the top edge of the flap, concealing the raw edge underneath. Alrighty, the pockets are on. They look cool. It's so long. It sits low on the hips, even with and then the waistband's pretty wide. That's why I have it set down there. It might even be lower once the waistband's on, but I just wanted to get the feel for it. And these pockets are just cool with that extra bit of volume, this little fold here. Okay, I'm excited. I love this fabric so much. Sew the waistband pieces right sides together along the edges. I put the skirt on and pinned it to me just to make sure it was fitting right before I put the waistband on, and I'm really pleased with the fit. So the next step is to attach the waistband. Sew the center back seam together, starting where the bottom of the zipper is, down to the back opening and stopping just a centimeter before the edge. Fold the hem and slit seam allowance along the marked line and stitch the corner 1 centimeter from the edge. Clip the corner, turn it right side out, and then press that slit in the back and press the entire hem where it's marked on the pattern. I think it's about 3 centimeters. Attach the zipper. It took me a while to learn the best way to deal with the top of the zipper, which is to start sewing below the top and then open it up and go back and sew the top. It works so much better. I need to change over the thread for the linings, so I've got to wind another bobbin. Whenever I rethread the needle, I always sew on a scrap piece of fabric just to make sure that I've got the bobbin in right and it's not doing something crazy. Sew 2 pleats in the back of each of the lining pieces, and then sew basting stitches in the front as you did with the skirt. It's going to be slightly gathered. Sew the front piece to the back pieces at the side seams. Finish the raw edges of the side seams and the 2 edges of the center back. Fold the hem of the skirt lining over twice, press it, and then sew the hem. Sew the side seams of the inside waistband together, and then sew the inside waistband to the lining, right sides together. Sew the center back seam of the lining together, right sides together, starting from the notch, which indicates the bottom of the zipper, to 1 centimeter above the lower notch, which indicates where the back slit is. Sew the lining to the zipper. I've never done this before, where I'm sewing a second layer onto the zipper after I've sewn the skirt on, and it felt really complicated setting it up. I was able to execute it and it looked fine, which you'll see, but initially putting it all together felt a little tricky. Thank God. Here's the outside, and here's the inside. It's not as close there as it should be in a way, but I could go back and get it tighter. Let's see, which one is it? It's this one. There's distance from it. This could be tighter along that lining. I don't know, not that it matters all that much. I might just go in there now and get it a little snug, but it's the inside, so you know, I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see, wait, where's the outside? Okay, there's the outside. Sew the right side of the skirt and the right side of the lining together at the top of the waistband. After sewing it, you should then clip off the excess zipper. I already clipped it off, which wasn't a great idea. It made enclosing the top of the zipper really difficult, so don't do that. Now I'm sewing on the right side of the fabric, just to the right side of the seam I just created by sewing the outside waistband and the inside waistband together. I am attaching the seam allowance that was created by putting together those two waistbands to the inside waistband, so it will lie flat and crisp when I am done. I kept checking underneath that the seam allowance was indeed lying to the right side of that seam. I could have pinned it all the way down, but it was so tricky getting it under the needle. I just felt it was better to feel my way. I can feel on top that the seam allowance is where it should, but I kept checking underneath also. Sew the lining to the back slit in the skirt, beginning with the right side of the back. sew the lining and the slit fabric right sides together, starting where the slit begins down to the hem. Then do the same on the left side of the skirt. Sew the right side of the lining and the right side of the skirt together from where the slit begins down to the hem. Press both sides of the slit. Then top stitch very, very close to the edge, the right side of the slit. It won't be seen because the left side of the back flaps over the right, and this will help it lie down and look much crisper. On the right side, sew a double or triple stitch, securing the top edge of the slit so that it's strong and it doesn't split, also holding the extra flap of fabric underneath down. You can hand sew the hem on the wrong side. I decided to machine sew it. I'm fine with the top stitch going along the bottom, and obviously it's faster. And the very last step, stitch in the ditch along the side seams for just a couple inches, a few inches up from the bottom, just to secure the lining. Okay, I have to say I'm really happy about this. I think this looks so pretty and it just feels good on. I don't think it's going to be too heavy. I mean, maybe at the hottest months in the summer, but the lining just feels great on the inside, and I just love the fit. I love that it sits a little lower on my hips. I love the length of it. The fabric is just so pretty and so vibrant. The black t-shirt complements the pink and red really well. I think that's going to be my go-to probably with this skirt. I have this cropped linen button down with the heavier sandals. I like that look. And the loose, open, blousey button down, any kind really, is great, will be great with this. And of course, my absolutely favorite graphic tee, Miss Diana Princess, the People's Princess, is a perfect fit with the cherry blossom vibes. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. This was such a fun project, and I will be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye.